Hey, everybody. Welcome to Winning Wednesday. I hope that you all are well. I hope this summer is treating you well with all this heat that we're encountering. And we are learning how to make sure that our homes are in order for the different changes that are happening in the world. I've had the pleasure of celebrating a birthday this past week, and I'm grateful for where I am so far in life, what I've overcome, and where Yah is going to take me in the future. So I'm excited about that. I gotta be honest with y'all. I know I talked about staying quiet and letting the Lord fight for me. I'm human. I have fallen. How do I say? Things just kept occurring, and I felt as though, especially when you're a soft-spoken person, when you are so accommodating to others and want others to feel at peace and want others to be happy, many times you end up being in the back burner. And so at this, I was tired of just hearing things that didn't align with my person, that didn't align with who I am and what was trying to be portrayed about me. And so I spoke up. I didn't think I was rude about it, but I will say I was straightforward. I attacked the matter and moved on. I will say afterwards, I was convicted because I was thinking to myself, well, what if that was the moment that total breakthrough was going to come? And you chose to take matters into your own hands. But long story short, I said what I said. It was factual. It was truth. And yeah, I felt good afterwards because of the fact that I knew that I was making a stance. I was setting those boundaries clearly, that I will no longer allow a negative narrative to take over what Yah is doing in my life. And so if I love you, I'm going to love you hard. And I'm going to try my best to be as honest as possible with you in order to make sure that the way that we're journeying together is as seamless as possible. So saying all that, even though I felt bad that because I fell, I'm reminded that a good man, they gonna fall 7 times, but they gonna get up. And so today, I'm saying to y'all, dust yourself off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again. Many times people make it seem as though falling is such a bad thing. The bad thing is when you fall and you choose to stay down. Because that we are more than conquerors. We were called to do more than just lay down and take it. So if you fall, learn from it, dust yourself off and try again, and move on. Yes, I know lately I've been having all the different connections with these different prophets and prophetess. And this week's prophetess is Aaliyah. Okay? May she rest in peace. She had a song, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can dust off and try again. Try again. Yes. So I'm saying to you all, dust yourself off and try again. Because it's in those falls that we learn how to get better. if we choose to learn, right? And so that reference actually comes from Proverbs 24:16 through 18. And I love it because it tells you about, when you read more detail, it tells you about how sometimes people want to interfere. They want to keep poking the bear, if you will. Sweet, quiet, kind people. And then when they respond, they're like, oh, you're supposed to be saved. Oh, you're supposed to be this, whatever the case is. But no, it's okay. I'm not perfect. Maybe I could respond differently. I'm not perfect. And so it says here, don't interfere with good people's lives. I'll read that again. Don't interfere with good people's lives. Don't try to get the best of them. No matter how many times you trip them up, God loyal or Yah loyal people don't stay down long. Soon they're up on their feet, while the wicked end up flat on their faces. And so that part there is really, really essential, that sometimes you feel like you're pushed against a wall and you have to come out to stand your ground, if you will, to make a declaration as to who and what you are. And we're called to do that. We're called to do that. But there's always a thin line, right? You want to make sure that you do it without, not in a place of bitterness or hate or sinning. But if that does happen, because I'm loyal to Yah, the Most High, the creator of the universe, I should be able to get back up and get back on my feet. And many times when we're going through these things, it's easy for you to fall into a self-righteousness where you think as though, because you have been wrong for so long, the moment someone else or the offender has fallen into some dark times, that you should be like, oh, God is doing it for me. I suggest to you to continue to pray that initial prayer you had. God, do it for me. Order my steps. Keep me in a place where no weapon that is formed will prosper over me. Whatever has been sent in my way, whatever monitoring spirits, whatever it may be, send it back there to the point where those people turn their lives, they turn from their wicked ways, acknowledge you, and repent. Yeah, I know sometimes David had those prayers, get him, Jesus, get him, God. Don't get me wrong. I'm so tempted to have those prayers quite often. But I have to realize that everything happens for a reason. All things work together. So even in the midst of some dark, horrible situations, there's a purpose behind it. So even as they go through their dark times and they may misconstrue and think that you are rooting for their demise, their downfall. No, I'm smarter than that, because if you continue reading in that same chapter, Solomon reminds us, he says, don't laugh when your enemy falls. Don't gloat over his collapse. God might see. Now we know he will see, right? And become very provoked. He does see. And then take pity on his plight. So in essence, you sitting here happy about somebody else going down, and God looking at you like, dang, I thought she came further than that. All right, let me go ahead and lighten up the other person's consequence. just to teach you a lesson. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. You're sovereign. You are Lord. Whatever initial sentence you had for that person who wreaked havoc, turmoil, whatever else in my life, do what you got to do because you know more than I do. So I will not be happy over their fall. I will pray that they learn from it, they humble themselves and see it from your perspective, Lord. Because I never understand why people go out of their way to hurt those that have a good heart. Those that give without question. And I'll be honest, most recently, I sit like I have this scale in front of me. And I feel bad and I have to repent afterwards. But that's kind of helped me to get to the point of these boundaries that I'm working on. I'll sit there and I'll say, wow, well, this was done. And so some people say, oh, you have a laundry list. Okay, call it what you will. I call it my healing and my processing. I call it my woke moment. I'll sit there and I'll look at all the things that I've done to help someone else. And the bare minimum or the bare effort is not being given. Or if the bare minimum is displayed one time, I'm expected to have a parade for that effort. It don't work like that. Consistency is what's required. That's why this statement of falling and getting up, it's a pattern. It's a thing that you have to do. You go down, okay, oh, I tried that, it didn't work. Okay, let me try it this way. Oh, that still didn't work. Okay. When I did this, it made me feel this way. When I did this, it made me feel that way. When I kept things in for so long, I ended up having physical ailments. When I chose not to respond, then I sitting up having unable to sleep at night or whatever the case. I'm just trying to think of different scenarios. You can't let that happen. Because again, when we hold everything, when the Father is asking us to cast our cares at his throne because he cares about us and we're choosing to hold on to it, we're making ourselves our own creator. We're making ourselves our own God. And I'm choosing not to do that. I'm letting that thing go. So like I said, I failed. I said what I had to say. I know it was truth. But the thing is, and using wisdom, or as someone has said to me, emotional intelligence, you have to be mindful of the audience, who you're speaking to, who you want to address, and how they will respond to it. Some folks, you can address them in all the ways that they respond to, and you will still be seen as the bad person. You will still be seen as one who doesn't give any respect, or one who thinks they're God's gift to the world. And guess what? I am God's gift to the world. And you, too, are God's gift to the world. And just like a gift is unmerited, we don't deserve it, we receive it, it's imperative that we treat it with respect, with honor. We cherish it. So since I am aligning with the fact that I am God's gift to the world. I'm going to treat me with respect. And I'm going to treat your gift with respect as well. So if I see that efforts are being made to take my gift, my shine, and put it under a basket so the world won't see it, I'm going to have to knock it down. Respectfully, of course. I love watching that man. He always says respectfully, of course. So my friends, my family out there watching, you're going to fall. You're going to say something. You're going to respond a certain way that you didn't want to. You're going to do something that others didn't like. That happens every single day, y'all. But in this instance, even when that happens, you can't just shy away and say, oh, I'm never going to. No. Dust yourself off and try again. And in the midst of you trying again, you will be enlightened. You will figure out how you're supposed to move, how you're supposed to align, how you're supposed to agree, and be able to activate, how you're supposed to dust yourself off and try again without jeopardizing who you are as a gift to this world. So I love y'all. Remember to dust yourself off and try again. Remember to make sure that you win today, because I know I will. Bye.